Welcome to the first assignment of this course. Today we discuss the tool thinking hats, and our course team has made two examples for using the thinking hats, which we'll now discuss. So maybe Stefan, can you explain what you did with the white hat?
Yes, so I did the thinking hats exercise for a business idea, and the idea, so the white hat, is an application that navigates you directly to an available parking space using an algorithm that predicts whether there is a parking space available in that street or in that parking lot.
Nice. Sounds good, very useful.
Yes. Well, if you then move to the second hat, why I think this is good, just flows naturally. I think that we did some research, and we've seen that on average people lose 10 minutes of search time just arriving at the destination and then starting to look for a parking space. So you could basically cut off 10 minutes of every car trip in a major city by using an application like this. So
that's why it's a good idea.
That's why I think it's a good idea.
Is there an idea why it wouldn't work?
Well, the thing is, we haven't tested the algorithm yet, so we're still building it, and we don't know whether this is actually going to work with that algorithm. The advantage of using an algorithm would be that it is pretty cheap to calculate, so you don't need a lot of don't need a lot of revenue, so that's uncertain yet, so it might not work at all.
Okay. So it sounds like a nice idea, but we're not sure yet whether it actually will work.
Yes.
And what about the red hat, the feelings around a service like this?
I think there's a huge potential for this. If this works, then there's a complete market, and everyone will use this app, because saving 10 minutes each time of your trip, especially really big cities or during rush hour when everyone's looking for a parking spot, you want this in this application. On top of that, there's even the potential of saving on pollution in the city, because more cars drive around, with less cars you have less pollution, so there's a huge potential here. But like I said, it's still uncertain about that prediction algorithm. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. And do you see any alternatives maybe for your service in the making?
Yes. Well, especially for a part of the service, because the algorithm is sort of where it hinges on everything. So we thought about putting in maybe even sensors in parking lots, like you already see in big parking garages, where you can just park your car like structured parking lots, but you don't have that in streets yet. We could do that, but the disadvantage would be that we have a large startup cost, because we have to put them there, and we also need to maintain them. So that would, compared to the prediction algorithm, that would have very large initial cost and also maintenance cost over a longer time.
Thanks for the explanation, looking at your idea from a number of different angles, which I think is the strength of the Thinking Hats tool. So now for another application, we go to Guido. Mm-hmm. Can you explain with your white hat what your idea is about?
Yes. So my white hat is based on a company that right now just focuses on repairing bikes. And they're thinking about also renting out a bike for when your bike gets repaired. So right now, it's only when you get your bike repaired, you're just going to have to wait either a day or a few days before you can use your bike again, which is a problem to many people. So they think about expanding and giving the opportunity to rent out a bike.
Okay. Yeah. And why do you think this is a very good idea? Why
well,
make people happy?
One of the things is when you have your bike repaired, you just want to have a certain method of transportation. So people can use their bike to get anywhere instead of walking. This would also provide the bike repair shop with higher revenues, because they get every extra revenue from renting out bikes, and also maybe get an extra customer segment, since many people don't use that bike repair shop yet because they don't offer the opportunity to rent out bikes.
So this sounds all very great.
Yeah.
Now let's switch to the black hat.
Yes.
Why
Yes.
would it not work?
Well, one of the main problems is the competition right now. So the National Railroad in the Netherlands, NS, they already provide such a service. So when you get when you use the train, you will always have the opportunity to rent out a bike through your OV chip card. So since there's already such a big player, it's going to be a question if there's enough opportunity for such a small repair shop to be a player in that field.
Okay. The competition may be
Yes.
a difficult thing
Yeah.
here. What about hunches and feelings about the service?
The thing is about for the repair shop, they're wondering if they rent out bikes that people will, because most of the people in Delft, they are students, and if they rent out the bike, how will they use their bike? Are they going to be careful? Are they just going to throw them anywhere they go? Do they go drinking somewhere and just leave the bike without a lock somewhere? So the bike repair shop is kind of worried that if we are going to start out renting bikes, are there going to be enough bikes for to make it profitable, that they don't get lost or stolen?
Right.
Yeah. So that's the question.
Okay. So there's a risk that bikes may end up in the canals.
Yeah. Exactly.
Which is of course a problem.
Yeah.
What about alternatives for this business idea?
Yeah. We also thought about leasing bikes instead of renting them. So the idea would be that you have certain price ranges for the bike that you can lease. So it could either be a very cheap bike for students. You'd also have normal bikes which are higher quality, but also electronic bikes. So many people they're not ready yet to buy an electronic bike because it's so expensive. So there might be enough people that are interested to rent such a bike or to lease it and to see, is this something for me, or should I wait with purchasing something like that? So that's it.
You could even differentiate a bit between
Exactly.
the kind of bikes that you
Yeah.
rent out.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks a lot for your cases
No
and
problem.
explaining
Thank
the thinking hats approach via those examples. Hopefully it was useful for you in applying it to your own case. So have fun with that.